Good evening, Facebook Live. Apostle Terrence Lyons of Ecclesia Ministries here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Coming to you again on tonight, bringing you tonight's Bible study. As you can tell, coming to you again on tonight, bringing you tonight's Bible study. Just a minute. Get some things. As you can tell, coming to you again on tonight, bringing you tonight's Bible study. Make sure that got everything the way it needs to be. Pray that everybody's had a good week and been dodging the weather, all of that fun stuff. Again, let me get us situated here. I'm trying to get light adjusted and all of that fun stuff, but doing something a little different. Good evening there, my sister, Pastor April. Get some things adjusted here and we'll be ready to rock and roll. Possibly set up so that I can, if I need to, I'll be able to do Saturday service here if the weather don't want to cooperate. We ain't gonna let it stop us no matter what. So making adjustments, make it where it make it do what it do, no matter what. So I pray y'all let me know if my sound is good. Like I said, I'm trying to get picture adjusted so that my dome don't blind y'all tonight. So trying to get everything just so. So we pray that again everybody's been able to adjust through your week and get prepared for Christmas time, spending time with family, all of those different things. So we just want to make sure that we got everything where it needs to be. Because again, I don't want anybody hurting themselves or anything else. I appreciate it, Pastor April. So it's definitely been some difference going on this week. Definitely been some difference going on. So, with this, make sure it's light. So I'm trying to make sure that we got good lighting and all of that fun stuff. Wait for good evening there, sis. So we're gonna get stirring. Get everything rocking and rolling tonight. So our question that I'm sure you saw is, can you keep your cool in chaos? Can you keep your cool in chaos? And what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to go ahead and read through the scriptures that I've got. I'm pretty much going to stay focused on 3. And of course, y'all know I'll end up mentioning more than 3, but we'll focus on 3 main ones tonight. And I want to read those because since my camera's in a different position, doing a little different setup, so we doing a new thing. And of course, that's one of the scriptures I had you to read. So I'm going to read. I'm going to read Proverbs 20 and verse 4 first. Proverbs 20 and verse 4. It says, "The sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold. Therefore shall he beg in harvest and have nothing. Isaiah 43, verses 18 and 19 says this. It says, remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. And then the last one that I want to read is Matthew chapter 2, verses 1 through 13. Matthew chapter 2, verses 1 through 13 says this. It says, now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, where is he that is born of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east, and are come to worship him. When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where Christ should be born. And he said unto him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet, and thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, art not the least among the princes of Judah. For out of thee shall come a governor, and that governor should be a capital G there. Shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. Then Herod, when he had privately called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared. That's important. It says, he sent them to Bethlehem and said, go and search diligently for the young child, and when you have found him, bring me word again, that I may come and worship him also. When they had heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them, till it came and stood over where the young child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding great joy. And when they were come into the house, they saw the young child with Mary his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented unto him gifts, gold and frankincense and myrrh. And being warned of God in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed into their own country another way. And when they had departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeareth to Joseph in a dream. Watch this. Saying, arise and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word. Woo. Man, I'm trying to do right. Watch this. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. Woo. My goodness. All right. Let me go and take a sip, because it's about to get real. See, the reason that I wanted you to understand and hear all three passages, see everything that was transpiring, the reason that I wanted you to understand that is because time is your most consistent truth teller. Ooh-wee. Time is your most consistent truth teller. See, the reason that time is your most consistent truth teller. Good evening there, Michelle. Good evening there, Prophetess Monica. Good evening there, Prophetess Tanisha. The reason that time is your most consistent truth teller is because, watch this, you don't really know what you got until you done went through all seasons with it. You don't really know what you got until you done went through all seasons with it. Now, if you live here in Tennessee, you subject to hit all seasons, all 4 seasons in about a week. But that's not a true reading. But this is what you got to get. This is what you got to understand. There are things that you don't find out until specific conditions are set up in a specific way. And once those specific conditions are set up in a specific way, all of who encounter those specific conditions are subject to them, but you don't really know what you got until you see them in each one of those conditions. Oh, we finna meddle, we finna meddle, we finna meddle. See, because you can begin to take note of conditions and how people respond under certain conditions. And what you have to do is you have to pay attention like the wise men did, because Herod, in an instance comes and he's like, when did that star show up? When did this really happen? Because see, Jesus, even in his seed form, in his first season here in the earth, he even had full power, even in seed form. See, even, I'm trying to do right. See, even just him coming into the atmosphere made everything and all of the elements of the atmosphere begin to circle around him. The stars and the moon all began to circle around him. The wise men, the king, everybody all of a sudden starts circling around him for different reasons, but everybody starts circling. Boy, lions, woo. See, everybody starts circling and everybody starts adjusting for different reasons. Herod understands that his rulership and leadership is in jeopardy. He knows that because this is the Messiah that is coming into the earth. And all of the wise men are beginning to seek and see, this is what I want you to understand. Because remember, time is your most consistent truth teller. Time is going to always tell you the truth. See, people can tell you one thing, but give it a little time. Give it a little time. They'll tell you one thing. Give it a little time and you're going to find out if it's true or not, because time is your most consistent truth teller. See, and this is what I need you to get. Everybody type in, give it time. Just give it time. I know somebody told you some stuff this week. Just give it time. I know some people have given you their word before. Just give it time. That's it. Just give it time. See, because what God does, and this is what I love about the Most High God. What God does is he will always allow a little chaos to come into the situation. See, because when the chaos comes into the situation, it's okay, just give it time and watch as well as pray. See, because when you allow the chaos to settle in. That's going to show you the character of those that are having to deal with the chaos. It's going to show you the character of those that's having to deal with the chaos. And once you have an awareness of their character, just give it time. Just give it time. And you'll begin to see, are they for you or are they against you? See, and some of you is shaking you up because you thought they were for you, but you found out they were against you after a little time passed by. And see, the reason that I need you to get this, and the reason I need you to understand this, because in Proverbs 20, when it talks about the sluggard, see that there's folks that will try to fight against what time tells you. Ooh. Ooh. See, a lot of folks will try to fight against what time tells you. See, time done told you that they ain't no good for you. I ain't trying to meddle. But time done told you that they ain't gonna keep their word. Time done told you you can't rely on them. Time has told you on more than one occasion the truth about everything you need to know. Ooh. Yeah. See, once time tells you the truth about them, believe it. Once time tells you the truth about them, believe it. See, because this is what's going to help you keep your cool in chaos. Because chaos will always happen over time. It's part of the seasons. When cold hits hot and they come together, it's tornado, it's tornadic, it's rain, it's all of those things. So when those conditions clash, there's always chaos. See, and that's all that's done happen with some of y'all in your relationships. That's all that's done happen with some of y'all in your connections and your interactions. When those conditions collide, chaos ensues. And you done watched it, you done seen it. You know how they ride, you know how they roll, you know how they function. They'll fight against time. See, they don't want to plow. They don't want to put in the hard work, but they want to harvest. But Proverbs 20 makes crystal clear and shows, okay, they don't want to plow because of the cold, but when the harvest comes, they ain't gonna have nothing. See, and that's what you've been running into. You've endured through some stuff with some folk, and it's done come time to harvest, and they done relaxed on you. They slacking on you. They don't want to do nothing. But they showed you that they didn't want to do nothing at the beginning. So what made you think that they was going to want to do something at the end? They want you to reap the harvest and give them a cut. That's what they want you to do. They want you to have planted it because they didn't want to plow during the planting time. And then they're going to want you to harvest it and then give them a cut off of it. It's time for you to let the time tell you the truth about how you're supposed to handle that connection. Okay. let me then now kind of focus on Isaiah 43. See, when he's talking about making a way in the wilderness, when he's talking about in those kind of conditions of showing you something, this is what I need you to get. I gotta look back at it. This is y'all know me. There's only a certain level that I can not look back at the word. So I want you to see this, because when I get to Matthew, when I show you Matthew tonight, because see we're gonna be looking at character and chaos on Saturday, and whether it's here or whether I'm at the building or whatever, I'm gonna see what the weather does, and then I'll inform everybody. Me and the Lord will have made a decision by Friday. By Friday evening, I'll let you know. But this is what I want you to see something here. In Isaiah 43, 18 and 19, when he says, "Remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old? Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert." So this is what I need you to understand. He's saying, I'm about to give you a flow where it's been dry. I'm about to give you a flow where it's been dry. See, I need for y'all to believe that. I need for y'all to embrace that. I need for you to understand that God is about to give you a flow where it's been dry. So he's not going to just wet it. There's going to be a flow. And this is what I need for you to understand. If you don't put some boundaries up, I love y'all, but you're going to have to put some boundaries up. Otherwise, just like your desert was chaos, your flow is going to be chaos too. Because if you don't put boundaries up, water that is running on top of the ground is going to go all over the place. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to dig a ditch and set some boundaries. And once you set that boundary, the flow, my gosh, my gosh, my gosh. Now, he can keep pouring into where you've put those boundaries in place. See, after you put them boundaries in place, now there's water runs best in trenches. Ooh. See, but if you don't set them boundaries up, he can't let that flow come through them trenches. Because you have nowhere for it to flow. It's just all over the place. It's just scattered. So what he's trying to show you is, I need for you to set the boundaries. Watch this. Based upon the truth that time has told you. Ooh. Set the boundaries based upon the truth that time has told you. Well, I don't know who I'm talking to, but you keep trying to allow some folk. You keep trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. And time has told you the truth about them. I don't know who that's for. so don't, I can't. He ain't showing me nobody in particular. But I'm just, for somebody, time has told you the truth about them. You need to set your boundary. Once you set your boundary, The flow. The flow is coming. It's going to happen. But you got to set the boundary first. All right. So now let's get to Matthew, because that's my main place that was set up about this question. See, because a lot of people look at Christmas as and only focus on the gifts. And then when the chaos comes in, you ain't even enjoying the gifts. But this is what I need you to get. See, the thing that happens at Christmas, and if you'll just pay attention, what happens at the last minute before Christmas is what's put in place for the whole season. Oh my goodness. It's what's put in place for the whole season. So right before Christmas, that's when your last minute people coming in. That's when all the different things are happening, and it's chaos. It's chaos. Now, that's a part of the whole season. You say, how can you say that? Because of this right here. Watch this. Watch what happens. Matthew chapter 2. And for those of you that came in a little later, I've already read through them. So I'm just going to be going back and touching base on them. But in Matthew, watch this. Matthew chapter 2. In verses 1 through 13, I want you to see this. I want you to see this clearly. Because, watch this. It says in verse 1, Matthew 2 and verse 1, it says, now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judah, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east, and are come to worship him. When Herod the king heard these things, he was troubled. Why? Why is he troubled? Because they didn't say they was coming to worship him.